All right, guys. So, Star Wars. Everybody loves Star Wars, right? We got another Star Wars rumor. So, this is coming from Daniel RPK. I'm reading it from comicbook.com, but it says here, according to Daniel Richmond, and Daniel RPK, he's one of those scoopers that I wouldn't take what he says to the bank. Like, it's not a confirmation, but he's definitely one of the more notable scoopers, and I think you at least have to, you have to consider it. So he says, quote, Lucasfilm is developing a show set during the Knights of the Old Republic era. Though this doesn't necessarily mean that the series will be a direct adaptation of the game, which seems highly unlikely, we'd be very surprised if at least some of the main characters didn't appear. So, yeah, what Daniel RBK is saying is that they are developing a show set during the Old Republic era, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be like an adaptation of the Knights of the Old Republic games. I have a couple thoughts on this. I think first of all, if true, is that really a thing that you want to try again? Because I know obviously the Acolyte is different, but it's a show that's like set before the prequel trilogy, kind of set during the height of the Jedi Order. And it's just like, I feel like we already tried that, or like we just tried that. Is that something that we necessarily want to try again? What are they going to do to like really differentiate it? I don't know. And I also just have to say, like, man, I feel like the if you're gonna do a Knights of the Old Republic thing, like make it a movie. Like, why are you not making Star Wars movies? And I know, to be fair, they are also making movies, but like, I don't know, like I just feel like a Knights of the Old Republic, like people love those games so much that should be that would be a big deal if you turned it into a movie. Then again, I've also, I've personally never played the Knights of the Old Republic games. I remember I tried to when I was a kid, and like I got it on my Android tablet, and I started playing it, and I immediately didn't understand the controls, and so I immediately stopped playing it. Like I got into the first battle, and I was just like, I have no idea what any of this is. Okay, old game is old. I don't know how to play this, so I stopped. So I never went back. Maybe I should at some point. Um, and also I know that they're doing a Knights of the Old Republic remake, but that also has been delayed, so who the hell knows where that's going. Um, but I know people always talk about how you could theoretically do like a Game of Thrones esque show set in the Star Wars universe based off of Knights of the Old Republic. So maybe that would be something that they go for. But man, I guess I shouldn't be too negative on it, because at the end of the day, here's the reality. Okay, I'm gonna pull the veil. Okay, I'm gonna pull the veil on all of this. Everybody talks about how they should do this specifically. They should bring back George Lucas. They should do this storyline. They should do this or that or this or that or whatever, whatever. At the end of the day, the main thing that really matters is they need to make better content, right? The problem with the Acolyte, it wasn't that it was set during the specific era. It wasn't that it portrayed the Jedi in a negative light. It wasn't about any of that. It wasn't because it was political, even though, like, when people say that, they literally just mean because they were diverse people and there was maybe like a lesbian couple. Like, please tell me in the comments below, what the fuck are the politics of the Acolyte? But anyways, like, it's just that it wasn't a very good show. That was the problem with it, you know? Um, and so everybody tries to like come up with like, oh, they need to do this or this specific thing. And I just did it at the beginning of this video, when at the end of the day, all they really need to do is just make better shows. And that's how you save Star Wars. Make better shows, make better movies. Um, so I mean, listen, if I were if I were the executive of Lucasfilm, I would maybe be like, okay, well, what if we turned that into a movie? What if we took advantage of the Old Republic IP and made it into a movie? If they do what I just described, and I was like, and they make like a really fantastic Game of Thrones-esque Star Wars show in the Knights of the Old Republic era, that could be a big deal. That could be very successful. So yeah, I mean, I guess at the end of the day, if it's great, then yeah, this would be an ideal thing. I will say though, I think what's becoming clearer and clearer is that they need to find a way to elevate the production value of these Star Wars shows. Like, these Star Wars shows can't continue looking like the Book of Boba Fett and Obi-Wan and the Acolyte. Like they're talking, there was that report about how Andor is like this massive budgeted show and whatnot, and it's like, yeah, but Andor also looks fantastic. So that's what you have to do, right? Like, so you have to maintain the Star Wars reputation. It needs to be an event. So if they do decide to go that route, I would unironically say stop making all of your other Star Wars shows, right? Like Andor's already over after season 2. I would say stop doing the Mandalorian, right? Maybe that if that's actually turning into a film franchise now. So stop making Mandalorian shows, cancel Ahsoka season 2. Just like stop all this other bullshit. Pump a fuck ton of money into Knights of the Old Republic and have that be the Star Wars event series of Disney Plus. Give it a massive budget and just make sure it's great. Make sure it's like genuinely fantastic. Make sure it is as good as Game of Thrones before like season 6. And yeah, I'm actually convincing myself more and more that this actually might be a good idea. But at the end of the day, people can have their opinions about where they personally think Star Wars should go. But the most important thing is just make better content, if we're being real. So we'll see. We'll see if this actually ends up happening in the first place, because it wouldn't be the first time that a Star Wars thing gets announced or rumored and then it just doesn't go anywhere. So let me know what you think in the comments down below, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.